Hey there, everybody. It's your boy T Robs, aka Professor Barsworth, and today we will be talking about one of my all-time favorite things ever to be created in the history of Everdom, and that would be the wonderful world of anime.
But Tyler, I never even watched anime.
But that is all right, because this one is going to be specifically for all of my wonderful, beautiful, amazing people out there who have yet to find the joys of anime. Long ago, the four nations lived in harmony until the Fire Nation attacked. That is just one example of the elements being shown in popular media. But usually when we're asking people, what kind of powers would you rather have? The majority of people are going to say fire. And today we will be talking about my top 5 favorite fire users in all of anime. In anime, fire is shown to be a force of destruction, but also has been shown to be the element of rebirth and recreation. But there are some that go above and beyond when we're talking about the use of the element of fire. Now, for all my people out there that already know anime and love it, I know what you're going to say.
But Tyler, those are not the best anime characters that use fire.
And that's all right, because these are my favorite. And in my opinion, the strongest. And if you don't think so, that's all right. But I challenge you to take a journey with me and learn a little bit about my top 5 favorite fire users in all of anime. Starting off at number 5, we have Mereoleona Vermilion, the leader of the Royal Knights from the anime Black Clover. In the anime Black Clover, it is set in the Clover Kingdom, and nobody represents the strength of the Clover Kingdom more than Mereoleona Vermilion. Being from a royal family, Mereoleona has some of, if not the highest reserves of power in the entire anime. She can create lion paws out of fire that she can use to grab things. She has a move called Calidus Brachium where she punches so hard and fast that the air molecules cannot move out of the way fast enough and they literally ignite. And of course there's different variations of that move. She even has one where it's so strong that the flames are blue. She has a move called Hellfire Incarnate, where she takes in all of the surrounding energy into her own body and becomes fire. And the move is so strong that it causes her body to actually burn up. And most recently in the manga, she has shown us a move called Exercitus Leonum. Yes, that was hard to say. When she does this, she revives all of her dead teammates and they become fire avatars. And she revives hundreds of her teammates. For her strength, her fierceness, and her unwavering dedication, the 5th spot goes to the lioness of the Clover Kingdom, Mereoleona Vermilion. Coming in at number 4, we have the Lionson of Pride, Escanor. Now, when it comes to lion-themed characters, I do have to say I like Mereoleona a little bit more. You can make literal suns. I would have to say that your fire powers are a little bit stronger. You could say that he gets the hotter spot. Now, during the night, he's a frail man, and he does not look like he could back up that pride he has. But when the sun comes out, he has enough power to easily kill a demon that instantly could kill people that hated him. And I'm sure, as you can imagine, a demon going around and killing everybody, there's a lot of people that hate him. The reason why Escanor beat him so easily? Well, he says it himself.
Why should I bear any hatred towards someone who's obviously weaker than myself?
He gets his main ability, Sunshine, which allows him to transform during the day, from the Archangel Mael. Now, where Mereoleona fights barehanded and is still able to take out the strongest of beings, Escanor can not only do that barehanded as well, but he also has a weapon. His weapon of choice is the Divine Axe Rita, which is so heavy that it cracks the ground from casually just landing. But he can hold it with one hand. If he loses his axe, which has happened, but very rare, he can actually use the Divine Sword and the Divine Spear. The Divine Sword is where he takes his hand and he moves it downwards and he cuts his opponent. He has the Divine Spear, where he pretty much pokes you and he can pierce you. His ultimate move is called the One, where he uses up all of his life force to essentially become the sun. And in that form, he's able to take on gods. So, for being hilarious and able to back up every single word that he says, Escanor is going to take our 4th spot. Coming in at our 3rd spot, we have Natsu Dragonmeal from the Fairy Tail Guild from the anime Fairy Tail. Natsu is a 1st generation dragon slayer. What that means is that he was actually raised by a fire dragon. And his fire daddy, Igneal, taught him how to use Dragon Slayer magic. Now, he can use a wide variety of fire-based moves like Fire Dragon's Roar, which is just a breath of fire. Fire Dragon's Talon, which is just a punch of fire. Fire Dragon's Wing Beat, which is a double punch of fire. Not very original. Now, in a physical fight, Mereoleona and Escanor would put the hurts on Natsu. We're talking the strongest fire users, in my opinion. So, the reason why Natsu is going to get our 3rd spot here is because we're not talking about which characters I think are the coolest. If that was the list, Natsu wouldn't be on it. But the reason why he is ahead of them is because Natsu eats fire. Yes, literally eats it. All of Mereoleona's revived army and every single ball of sun that Escanor decides to throw at Natsu would only serve to make him even stronger. In a pinch, he's even been known to eat some non-fire stuff, like he ate some lightning and he was able to enter fire lightning dragon mode. No, he's not as cool as Mereoleona. No! His witty comments are nowhere near to the level of Escanor, but he does have a cat. And in my opinion, Natsu's gonna go ahead and come out on top of them because none of their fire moves have an effect on him. In 2nd place, we have the leader of the Gotei 13 and certified bad. Can I say ass? Can I say that? Are we allowed to go? Certified bad butt. Hailing from the Bleach universe, we have Ginryusei Yamamoto. Yamamoto is a sword master, a ruthless leader, a master of their universe's magic, and owner of the sword, Ryujin Jaka. Now, the swords in Bleach are called Zanpakuto, which are essentially living swords with souls inside them. They all have names, but their most devastating attacks come from their 2 forms, Shikai and Bankai. So first we'll talk about Shikai, which is the first awakening of their Zanpakuto. When Yamamoto says all things in the universe turn to ash, his Ryujin awakens and is instantly coated in flames. These flames are hot enough to melt buildings, the ground, evaporate clouds, and instantly turn an opponent into ash from one swing. All of the powers that come from his Shikai awakening involve giant walls of fire that can turn an entire town into ash. Now, Yamamoto can also use what is called a Bankai, which is the 2nd awakening of a Zanpakuto and is the strongest form. When Yamamoto uses his Bankai, Zanka no Tachi, all of the flames that were produced by his Shikai are absorbed back into the Zanpakuto, and it is so hot that it evaporates all the moisture and dries up the air completely, and this actually infects an entire dimension. Anyone standing too close will die. Now, his most basic ability with his Bankai does not create any flames at all, actually. But one slice does not turn anyone to ash. It doesn't kill them. It completely erases them from existence. He can engulf his body in flames that are upwards of 15 million degrees Celsius, 27 million degrees Fahrenheit, that no one can see unless he wants you to see it. His most devastating ability is the ability to raise the dead, and he can do this with anyone that he has killed with his Zanpakuto Ryujin. They're not like Mereoleona, where they're kind of just flame avatars. These are living dead corpses. And he can actually pick and choose which ones that he raises. So he often will do this and raise all of your comrades just to add insults to the fire. So, due to his powers being so hot that he can melt an entire dimension, second place goes to Yamamoto. Last but not least is my pick for the strongest fire user in all of anime. So coming in at number 1, we have Shinra from the anime Fire Force. Now, Shinra awakened his abilities after the death of his mother and his brother. He, like everyone on this list, is really strong, really fast, and can control fire. The reason that I have Shinra at number 1 is because he is literally a god. After his soul resonates with the soul of his mother and his brother, Shinra gains universal level power. He has the power of creation, which allows him to manifest his thoughts at will. He has reality warping abilities that allow him to change reality at his will.
Imagine being able to turn a pickle into $1 million.
Time manipulation, which allows him to stop, rewind, and fast forward time casually. So, for being a literal god, our first place and winner of best fire user in all of anime is Shinra from Fire Force.